All right, so we're live on YouTube again. I don't have any viewers, but that's okay. We'll share this link later. So if we look at problem number 14, it says Jamal's bag weighs 15 pounds. Ben's bag weighs twice as much as Jamal's bag. What is the total weight of both bags? How many people do they describe in that problem? How many people are they talking about in that problem? Tiana?
2 people.
2. What are the names of the 2 people?
Ben, Jamal.
Ben and Jamal. Okay, good. So we have 2 people here. We have Jamal and we have Ben. Now, they don't tell me how much Ben has off the top, do they?
No.
But they do give me a number for Jamal. And how much did his bag weigh? Elijah?
15.
Okay, so his bag weighed 15 pounds. Now, they want me to solve for whose amount? Everybody? Ben. Okay. So now, the question here, or the key here, is it says this. Boys, if you just came in, go ahead and have a seat. Let me copy this one down for the sake of those people who will be watching this later. All right. Now, who can read this sentence for me from your paper? All right, Thomas, read the sentence for me.
That weighs twice as much as Jamal.
All right, so Ben's bag weighs twice as much as Jamal's bag. Who could come up and underline the key word in that sentence? Justice, come up and underline what word tells us which word is our key word or important word in the sentence. Okay, first off, tell me whose word which word is the most important one. Don't underline it first. Tell me first.
Much.
Okay, much doesn't really describe to me. Stay right here. Much doesn't really describe to me whether I need to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Much can be anything. I could say Brooklyn has too much paper, too much in her bowl, or there's too much hairspray on your hair, or your bag is full of too many papers. Okay, much doesn't tell me anything. Which word in this sentence is going to tell me whether I need to add, subtract, multiply, divide? It's a key word there. It's a number word. What's that word?
Twice.
Underline the word twice on the board for me, Justice. Thank you. All right, twice. Thank you. And underline it on your paper right now. Now, the word twice means that I have to double something, correct? And if I'm doubling, what 2 operations can I perform if I'm doubling a number? What 2 things could I possibly do to double a number? Drake, give me one. Multiplication, and I could multiply that number by what, Drake?
2.
I could multiply this number by 2. Or what else? What other operation, Charlie, could I perform?
Add it.
I could do repeated what? Addition. So I could add 15 plus 15. Okay? So do that right now on your paper. I want you to either multiply 15 by 2 with your pencil. Pick your pencils up now. We're going to multiply it by 2, or we can do repeated addition and solve that same problem. And then give me a thumbs up when you have circled an answer and you've done either multiplication or addition. I'm coming to look, so make sure you've solved it on your paper so that I can see. All right, so would it be, raise your hand if you chose A, 15 pounds. Okay, so here's the answer choices for the folks that are at home. So the answer choice was A, 15 pounds, B, 17 pounds, C, 30 pounds, or D, 45 pounds. And again, we needed to figure out what was twice as much as 15. So raise your hand if you circled A. Good, right? Because that's the same number he had. He didn't have the same. Raise your hand if you circled B. Okay, if you circle B, what would you have done? What would you have done to that 15 to get a 17? Elijah?
Just added 2.
Just added 2, but it didn't say he has 2 plus pounds. It said he has twice as much pounds, twice as many pounds. So we can cross through that. And go ahead and cross through 17 on your paper. Okay, you see how I physically cross through this so that I can't look at it? The reason why I have you do that is so that when you get to a computer screen, you're not sitting there and even thinking about clicking on this one, because now you've marked it out on your paper and you have to make the 2 match. Okay, so who, raise your hand if you circled C, 30. Very good. You should have circled C. Raise your hand if you didn't circle C. Okay, why? What did you get?
I got 45 because we're supposed to add 15 because it said was the weight of both bags.
Oh, let's take a look. You are right. I missed a step. High five. Oh, you piece of candy. All right, so here's what we missed. And let me put this up on the screen. So if you look at it, the final question here said, it said Jamal's, what was Ben's bag weighs twice as much as Jamal's bag. What is the total number of both bags? So what I missed and what many of you do, I did the same thing you do. I stopped at that first statement, didn't I? Instead of adding what I got first, which was 15 plus 15, which was 30, right? Okay. And then I needed to add what Jamal's bag weighed as well. Do y'all see that?
Yes, ma'am.
So instead of circling 30, we needed to circle what?
B.
45.
D.
D, which is 45. So I already know. I'm going to leave this up here for you. For 14, we should have circled D, which was 45 pounds. Now here's what we can learn from that. I stopped at the first statement, didn't I? I should have read the whole thing again. So how many times do you think, even as an adult, I just messed that up, right? You guys are kids, you'll do the same thing. So what would be my helpful hint as you're taking this test? What would you tell me to do? Messiah?
Read through the passage twice or 3 times.
And make sure you do what?
And so you can make sure you don't leave out any sentences.
Okay, make sure I answer both parts of the question. What else would you say, Malachi? My helpful
Make
hint.
sure you don't miss any important details.
Make sure you don't miss any important details. Very good. That was a teachable moment for me, my old brain. Just got to make sure I read through all my details so that I don't teach it wrong and I don't solve it wrong. Please don't draw on your clothes. It's also embarrassing for me to say that on YouTube Live because I'm about to post this on Dojo. All right, let's move on. Let's skip 15. See if you can do that one on your own. But let's go on to the next page. And there's 20 total questions when you log into schoolnet. I just want to do one more with you. Let's do number. Looks like we're missing a page. I'm gonna run that for you. All right, let's look at page number. Let's look at 19 and 20. Let's look at 19 in fact. It's the last page there. You guys see it? Okay, let's look at 19. says Miss Arnold. So I'll just call her Miss A because I'm abbreviating because I'm gonna write all this. Well, Miss Arnold has $65 to spend on supplies. And I'm, again, abbreviating and paraphrasing so I don't have to copy the whole thing. Yours is going to be worded a little differently. She spent how much? What's the next number for me?
23.
23 what? $23. She spent $23 on what? Notebooks. On notebooks. And how much on pencils?
$16.
60 or 16?
16.
All right, so she $16 on pencils. Which equation can be used to determine the amount? Which equation can be used to determine M, the amount of money Mrs. Arnold had left after she bought the supplies? All right. I'm going to use the word determine. All right, so I cut it short a little bit just so I have some room for us to solve at the bottom. All right, so determines means what? Which one determines M? In other words, determines in this case, when I see this on a test, a math test, means which one shows me the amount M that she has. Correct? Everybody understand that? All right, so the easiest thing I would say to do is, A, let's read through it again. So go ahead and take a chance to read through it yourself one more time while I work through it here in my own self on the screen. So Miss A, she spent 23. All right, so she has to subtract 23 from that on notebooks and $16 on pencils. So subtract 16 from that too. Which equation determines money she has left M? All right, so whatever I come up with, M, I don't know what M is. So M is going to be how much she has left. So it has to be on one side of my equal sign. Do you see how I work through that in my head? All right. So I know M, no matter which one I choose, because in all four answer choices, it gives you an M on the other side of the equal sign, correct?
Yes.
All right. And in all of these, do they all start with 65?
Yes.
Yes, that's all correct because we're going to be subtracting from that total. So I know I have to at least pick one that has a subtraction sign right after the 65. So based on that, are there at least two that we can cross out automatically?
Yes. Yes.
Thumbs up if yes, there's two of these that we can cross out automatically. Now, Bryce, you have the same test everyone else has. Please make sure all of my children in this room are on the final page, which is page 11 at the bottom. I'm looking at question number 19. Neighbor of his, can you make sure that he gets to that problem? Okay, all right, good. Now, which two answer choices can we cross out? Malachi, which two can we cross out?
M equals.
No. Tell me the letter of the choice that we can cut. A, B, C, C. So cross through C. You know it's not going to fit. And then what other answer choice can we cross out, Bella?
D.
D. And why can't we cross those two out, Miss Bella?
Because those two have addition.
Those two begin with addition and not subtraction. So now I've made my answer choices a lot simpler, haven't I?
Yes.
So let me walk through the steps of what I just did. I read through it. How many times did I read through it? Everybody? Twice. At least twice I read through it. Then I had to think about where the M was going to go. When you get an unknown quantity or they're showing you something that's unknown, what you want to do is think about where the M is going to go. Is it going to be my answer on the other side of the equal sign? Or is it going to be a part of the number sentence? Y'all see that? All right, now, in choice A, it says 65 minus 23 minus 16. That's choice A. And then choice B says M equals 65 minus 23 plus 16. Well, we already know we're going to do what with the 23. Who can tell me what operation we're going to have to choose to do for 65 and 23? What are we going to have to do with 65 and 23, Thomas? And you know because it's in both problems. What am I going to have to do with 65 and 23 in both of those situations? Look at your answer choices and tell me what symbol you see. Minus is a symbol. You do see a minus sign, but what operation is that? I want you to use the correct vocabulary. So minus means that you have to do what? Landon?
Subtract the numbers from 65.
Subtract the number from 65. Thomas, do you understand that? Bryce, do you understand? Very good. All right. Now this one's a no-brainer because guess what? Didn't she have to buy pencils too?
Yes.
So is she going to be adding that $16 to the 25?
No.
Or wait, or is she going to have to use a little bit more and subtract some more money from that $65? Raise your hand. Levi? She's going to have to subtract. So then we can cross out what other answer choice, Brooklyn? B. We can cross the B. Go ahead and do that now. All right. So our only other choice for that one is going to be what?
A.
A. It's going to be A. Go ahead and circle A. All right, is everybody good? So, I'm going back to the printout, and sometimes schoolnet prints out really wacky, and it'll skip a page. I owe you another 2 problems. If you notice, I gave you 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20. It skipped 16, 17, and 18. So I'm going to run that for you. In the meantime, for those viewing on YouTube later, the schoolnet code is in the description below. And make sure you go in and show all your answers. We'll see you soon.